And moving on to business and economic news, Thailand's economy has suffered its worst full-year performance in more than 2 decades, with officials citing the toll of both the gutted tourism industry and ongoing political upheaval. Last year's 6.1% contraction was the worst since the Asian financial crisis back in 1997, which was around minus 7.6%. And officials said they expect the economy to expand at a much slower pace than initially predicted in 2021. The downgrade to 2.5 to 3.5% growth from a previous estimate of 3.5 to 4.5% came despite a slight improvement in the final 3 months of the year. The Secretary General of the Office of the National Economic and Social Development Council, Danusha Pichiyanan, said at a news conference that it has rebounded from the previous quarter due to the government's stimulus package that boosted spending. Although Thailand was largely spared the worst of the virus, the partial lockdowns have hit the economy really hard. Thailand has registered more than 24,000 cases from COVID-19, with a jump of about 20,000 infections since late last year after a second wave that stemmed from the country's largest seafood market in Samut Sakhon. Some 14 million tourists have been expected to arrive in 2020, but as international travel ground to a trickle, their absence hammered the country's services sector, bruising entertainment, retail, hotels, and restaurants. Thailand's free-falling economy has been a factor in the youth-led protest movement that is calling for Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's resignation, constitutional reform, and changes to the once untouchable monarchy. Asked about the political climate, Danusha implied it was delivering a further blow. He said that the Thai economy relies on investment and exports, and the political situation will affect the investors' confidence. The country's economy was struggling even before the pandemic, which laid bare the deep inequality between the haves and have-nots of Thai society. In response to the pandemic slump, the government implemented a record 1.9 trillion baht stimulus package, cash handouts, and tax incentives. Further economic improvements will depend on managing the pandemic and boosting visitors as well. Danusha also said that the outbreak and vaccine procurement, together with tourism recovery, are the main economic factors for this year. So a lot of things to consider when we look at the economic improvement in Thailand here.